This video will help to clear up what is the definition of pointers and what are they useful for in C++. So we'll quickly run down the definition and then do a quick demonstration using cmake on Visual Studio. So in C++, a pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of another variable. So right off the bat, we're dealing with two different variables here, the pointer and another variable. Pointers allow you to manipulate and access the value of the variable indirectly by using its memory address. You can declare a pointer using the star symbol. So I'm going to paste this in here. For example, the following code declares a pointer to an integer variable. So I'm just going to copy and paste this code in here, just for example's sake. So remember that star I mentioned? So this would be a pointer to something like an integer data type. So let's expand this out a little bit. So let's say we have an integer num equals 10, and this should be familiar for anybody who's done Java, because Java looks like this. Even something like JavaScript, instead of int, we would use something like let here, right? With C++, we have to just use the word int here when we're declaring variables. So let's say we have an int num of 10. The way we use our pointer is we'd say int pointer. This is a int type pointing to this address. So 10 has somewhere in the memory there's something that looks like hexadecimal, like X, O, something like this. So this pointer is pointing to this physical address. And then we're going to go down and then build this out a little bit. So let's just print this out. Value of num. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what there's this word they use called dereference, right? Dereference. Okay, I'll spell it out elsewhere, but and so this should be yeah, let's just do it this way. All right, so this should be 10, right? So to access the value of the variable through the pointer, you can use the star operator, which is called the dereference operator. So now this is like dereferencing. Sounds like a fancy word, but it's just another way of saying like we're gonna get the, see, we use the word integer here. We're gonna get the integer value in this from the address we see here. For example, the following code dereferences the pointer. Okay. So let's try to run this, see what happens. We're running it. So the value of num is 10, and that looks correct. Also modify the value of the variable through the pointer by dereferencing it and assigning a new value. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to modify the value of the variable num through using our pointer here. So again, that dereference word again, that basically means we're just going to have syntax that looks like this, but instead we're going to use it to hack away around these variables here. Dereferencing, we use that asterisk. And we'll say instead of 10, we'll do the number 66. And we'll do very similar code again. But instead of pointer, we're going to use num. Okay, so now we're dereferencing it, so we're using this variable. Ostensibly, we're using it a little bit differently, and instead we're going back to num here. We're going to give it 66 here, and we'll try to run this, save it and run it. It's actually not letting me save this. Do I even have to save it? I don't know. Alright, let's just run this. A couple seconds. And we see here we got the number 66. So yeah, that's basically a good rundown of the pointers. So remember, this asterisk is what you can use. There's this magical word called dereference, and that's what you're going to do to see the integer value. And then you could also just use it again, dereference again, just to give a new integer value. That's kind of that's like a nice, easy way to think about it. So I do have a repository of a lot of LeetCode C++ up on my GitHub. So like and subscribe, and happy coding.